Welcome to the La Posta Band of Mission Indians EPA composting program. So compost is that dark, earthy smelling stuff that is rich in nutrients that plants love. So this video is going to hopefully help you to understand how to use your composter and inspire you to compost. So there's 5 great reasons why you should compost. 1, it reduces the waste stream. So composting is a great way to recycle the organic waste that we generate at home. So food scraps and garden waste together make up more than 28% of everything that we throw away. Reason number 2 is that composting cuts down on methane emissions from landfills that occur when organic matter decomposes. So when organic matter decomposes, it undergoes something called aerobic decomposition, meaning that it's broken down by microorganisms that require oxygen. Now, during anaerobic decomposition, biogas is created as a byproduct, and this biogas is roughly 50% methane and 50% carbon dioxide. And these are both very potent greenhouse gases. Methane can be 28 to 36 times more effective than carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere, and this helps increase temperatures in the atmosphere. Number 3, so the third reason to compost is that it improves soil health and lessens erosion. So improves soil health and lessens erosion by containing 3 primary nutrients needed by garden crops: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It also has traces of other essential elements such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc. And research has also shown that compost increases soil's water retention capacity as well as its productivity and resiliency. The 4th reason that composting is a good idea is that it conserves water. So agriculture is a major consumer of water in the US. So it accounts for approximately 80% of the nation's water use. So the water retaining capacity of soil increases with the addition of organic matter. Each 1% increase in soil organic matter helps soil hold 20,000 gallons more of water per acre. By using compost to foster healthy soil, farmers and producers do not have to use as much water and can still have higher yields compared with farming with degraded soil. And the 5th reason that composting is a good idea is that it reduces personal food waste. So an average American family of 4 throws out about $150 worth of food per month, which is a 50% increase since the 1970s. Research in 3 US cities shows that the edible food most wasted by households was fruits and vegetables, which consumers throw about 60 million tons of away, this being about $160 billion worth of produce annually. The best way to reduce impacts from food waste is to prevent waste from occurring in the first place. Even if we do everything possible to decrease food waste, there's going to still be some food scraps that cannot be consumed, such as banana peels, and composting is a great way to recycle those discards instead of tossing them into the normal trash. So backyard composting, you can do this in 10 easy steps. So the first step is to choose a flat, partly sunny area with good drainage. You can purchase a bin or build your own. You have been provided the composter pictured on the right, so you already have that. The composter has the sliding lids on it that will help keep out rain and animals. So first you want to create a 6 to 10 centimeter base layer using straw, leaves, or a woody brush material, and this will help promote air circulation. We have provided you with a compost starter and a home scrap tin to make this easier. Then you want to alternate layers of green or nitrogen-rich and brown carbon-rich materials. So you can see the chart on the right for a list of what is acceptable and unacceptable materials. So some examples of things that should not be composted. Coal or charcoal ash, dairy products and eggs, any plant matter that you know to be diseased, greases, fats, pet feces or cat litter, yard trimmings that have been treated with chemical pesticides, fish or meat bones and scraps, and a few other things, but these are the main ones. Things that are very good to compost would be cardboard, uncoated cardboard, coffee grounds and filters, eggshells, ashes from the fireplace, from natural wood, fruits and vegetables, grass clippings, hay and straw, even hair and fur, houseplants, leaves, shredded newspaper, nutshells, paper, sawdust, tea bags, wood chips, and yard trimmings. So back up to step 4. So if you chop up large materials, this will help them decompose faster. So you can use this for things, especially for something like cardboard. Make sure that it has been chopped into small pieces. Whenever you've added a food scrap layer, top it off with a layer of brown material about 5 to 8 centimeters. Alternating green and brown material will promote a healthy compost. You should mix your bin contents every week or 2. This helps to aerate the material and gets the bin heating up again, allowing it to decompose faster. The moisture content of your bin should be like a wrung out dish rag. So your bin should not be saturated and shouldn't be sitting in water. Only add your water if it is very dry after mixing. Be aware that your compost pile will shrink, so continue to add layers of green and brown materials. Just to clarify what we mean by green and brown materials, green would be things like vegetables, fruits, fruit peels, fruit, tea bags, coffee grounds, filter paper, old flowers, grass, and weeds. Brown would be something like eggshells, peanut shells, corn cobs, egg cartons, twigs, straw, and hay. Or wood chippings. So these, as you can see, are going to tend to be kind of harder things that are more resistant to breakdown. So again, you want to add alternating layers of green and brown until the bin is almost full. So when is your compost ready? So it's generally ready to use after about 2 to 3 months. However, aging it for another 1 to 2 months is recommended. You can always set up 2 composters so that you can add to one bin as the other one matures, and be sure that you have a constant supply of compost. You can harvest your compost when the compost at the bottom and the center is decomposed and moist. So you can dig out the compost with a shovel and using the door at the bottom of the commercial bin, or if you've built your own, you can always remove the top new layers and dig the compost from the center. So how to use your compost? A few different ways you can use your compost. You can use it as mulch. You can add it to potting soil. You can work it into crop beds. You can distribute it on lawns, mix it into garden beds, feed it to potted plants, and add it to soil around fruit trees. Compost cannot go bad, but it can get too wet, too dry, or too old. You can still use compost as old. It just might not have as many nutrients in it as fresh compost. So a few tips to remember. Grab a handful of compost from the center of your pile and squeeze. If you get a few drops of water, that's perfect. That should be the moisture level of your compost. You can always sift your compost through a mesh screen to remove large chunks or unfinished material when you're ready to use it. To maintain proper moisture content, remember to balance out that amount, the approximate amount of green and brown materials that you add to it. If you have problems with your compost pile smelling, it's probably due to a large number of anaerobic microbes. So remember, those are ones which are not working in the presence of air. So if you have this problem, you can cut it down by remembering to aerate your pile regularly. This will create air pockets and of course limit that anaerobic growth. while stimulating the less smelly aerobic microbes, which are the ones that you want to be working. Too many browns, adding too many brown components to the mix will make your pile take a very long time to break down. And adding too many greens will cause it to turn more smelly. So remember to try to balance out those two amounts. Okay, thank you very much and have fun composting.